All right, so we're going to kind of close our coverage of this wacky weekend in Alaska. We looked at the Trump rally. We looked at Sarah Palin. We're now going to look at some interviews with rally attendees. And one of the things we realized was that Trump supporters in Alaska are just as delusional and just as disconnected from reality as those in other parts of the country. Alaska often gets this reputation, sort of like Vermont, of being a different type of place where left and right don't mean the same things, and the Republicans are more reasonable and the liberals are more conservative, and all these different things because of it's rural and all these stuff. Maybe to some degree that's true, and in fact, I think it is true to some degree, but no shortage of whacked out, delusional participants, I guess, in the political system. Here, some women are asked, what are the main issues that are of concern to you? The main political issues, women in Alaska. What are you worried about? I'm not going to preview what they say. Let's listen to what they say.
What's the most important issue that you guys are concerned about as Alaska? Oh, Space Force, all right.
QR healing, the support of our veterans, the healing.
I'm sorry?
Trafficking.
Specifically, what kind of trafficking?
Human trafficking.
Are you worried about our southern border?
Yes, everything. I think eventually they'll end up going back to their own countries with Nasara Jassara kicking in.
Right. Now, there's a lot there. So the main issues for women in Alaska, conservative women, principled conservative women, are Space Force, which is doing nothing right now. QR codes killing people, I think is what she said. Veterans, okay, veterans. Healing's great, but from what and in what way? Trafficking and the southern border of the United States, which is quite removed both geographically and politically from what's happening in Alaska. Alaska, of course, sharing a border with Canada. These are the issues that they say are the most important. Now, at the end, you might have heard that this woman mentions Nasara and Jassara.
Going back to their own countries with Nasara Jassara kicking in.
Okay. I watched that on Saturday during our stream. I didn't know what on earth this woman was talking about. Nasara is an acronym for the National Economic Security and Recovery Act. These were some proposed economic reforms suggested during the 1990s by a guy named Harvey Francis Barnard, who wanted to replace the income tax with a national sales tax and get rid of compound interest on secured loans and go back to a currency backed by two types of precious metal, all these different things. And it's kind of become a cult-like thing. And the idea that people are going to go back to Mexico because of Nasara, I mean, it is so out there that even many conspiracy theorists have no idea what it's about. So that's what women in Alaska say they care about. Here's a guy who is sort of a medical marvel. Listen to this guy's voice. He seems to have something in his throat, not his mouth, not his nose, but his throat. I've never heard someone speak like this in an extended way. I asked some doctor friends of mine, what exactly is going on here? They said they don't know. What you're about to hear is defying the medical knowledge of multiple doctors. Check this out.
Look what he did for us. I mean, come on, man. He's a businessman. He shows them people up.
I can't even pretend to speak that way.
They don't know where they're at because he knows the ins and outs of business. He got all of our prices down, our taxes down, our gas down, our food down. The man's a dream.
Now, not only did Trump not do any of those things, I tried holding water in my mouth to try to sound like that. I tried sort of like speaking through a gargle. I could not replicate that. And what a wild, wild day in Anchorage, Alaska. So the supporters also crediting Trump with things he didn't do, imagining new conspiracy. I mean, it just completely all over the place. And we have to remember, some of these people vote, not all of them. Some of them show up at these rallies. They travel all over going to rallies and they say they're devoted to Trump. They're like, no, I was working that day, or I wasn't working. I was just doing nothing and I didn't go and vote. This group of folks will determine who controls the House and Senate after January of 2023 based on how they vote this November. So wild, but not to be ignored as a political constituency. Many of us know what it's like to have acne show up when we least want it to. You should have seen me in middle school. Now I'm on camera and I really do the best I can to keep my skin clear. And for that, I go to Apostrophe, our sponsor, on the Apostrophe website. You just answer a few questions, take a couple pictures of your skin, and then you have a virtual visit with a board-certified dermatologist who will create a personalized treatment plan. They quickly ship you the prescription medication. I can tell you that when it comes to acne, you're better off with a dermatologist. There are all sorts of different kinds of acne that need different types of treatment. The over-the-counter stuff was not what worked for me. Apostrophe makes it simple and quick. I've had a great experience with Apostrophe myself. You get affordable, quality medical treatment from a licensed dermatologist and prescription meds that actually work, but I can do it all on my phone. I don't have to spend hours in a doctor's office. My audience gets $15 off your first dermatology visit. Go to apostrophe.com/Pacman and use the code Pacman. The link is in the description.